Turkey, a land in the middle of almost everything. A bridge between two continents, Europe and Asia. Turkey is a country with 780,000 kilometers square surface area, which includes 7,800 kilometers of coastline facing Black Sea, Aegean Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. Turkey is and has been a homeland for different cultures, multiple civilizations and most powerful empires. Today, the country has a large amount of income by exhibiting this history and environment along with tourism activities. The Turkish Republic is a fast developing country. Turkey has a solid 71 million population with 1.8% growth rate. Nearly 60% of the population are living in urban areas. Development in history, transportation, agriculture and technology, starting in 1920s, the country caught up the world economy and has been a part of it. Industrial needs such as raw materials, mines, land, energy and other elements obtained without care on environment. More industry had more consequences. This rapid growth brought along environmental issues to be taken care of and necessary actions to be held by governmental enforcements. On the voyage of European Union accession process, Turkey is performing these actions in environmental policies for being a valuable member, accepting global responsibility. History proved that stationary settlements started 11,000 BC, bringing agriculture and animal breeding. Thus brought the start of the use of environment on this land with rich biological diversities. The country is in a very rugged form with high average altitude of 1,132 meters. Sparse mountains and separated from each other by broad and high plains. By the effect of its topography, various characteristics of climate conditions can be observed within the country. Mainly Mediterranean forest climate, sub-desert steppes and even desert climate exist in eastern parts according to varying rain ratios. The formation of the lands are generally composed by the effects of water streams. There are large amounts of flowing water springs. Turkey contains 2 million hectares of 135 wetlands, which are internationally important, and also 500 more out of the international criteria. These variable conditions bring a wide variety of fauna as well. There are 80,000 species around the country, leading to over 100,000 when subspecies are taken into account. This fauna is hosted by an exclusive variety of a flora, which is described as the gene center of the world. 1/3 of plant species, which is over 10,000, are endemic. Turkey is believed to be one of the most important natural habitats, which deserves an intensive care for the future. 96% of Turkey is natural land, which includes 42.35% agricultural lands and 54% forest and half natural areas. Development in the industry and population growth leads to misuse of the natural and agricultural areas. The gaps in planning activities for land use resulted in land fragmentation, damaging the forest areas, conversion of agricultural and natural zones into residential and industrial settlements, and destruction of natural seashores. Thus also brings vanishing of exuberant lands, misbalance in ecology, climate change, fauna and flora destruction, and air, water and land pollution. The topographical structure, unsuitable agricultural techniques, damaging grassland and forests. Topographical reasons and misuse of lands make Turkey's land more vulnerable to erosion. There is a high immigration rate within the country, which results conversion of abundant agricultural areas to population settlements, and that leads forcing agriculture move to less abundant lands. As being one of the most popular tourism locations in the world, Turkey hosts nearly 30 million tourists per year, which requires important amount of hosting facilities. Therefore, the tourism investments have to be realized with the environment in mind to protect shores, forests, and nature itself. Karain project, which documented land use pattern in the country, has been initiated in 2005 and finalized in 3 years. A total mapping of land use is available for upcoming environmental studies. Air pollution in Turkey is mostly caused by household heating, transportation, and emissions aroused from industrial sites. It is a significant problem within the country as well as other developing and developed countries due to the rapid growth in population and industry, resulting to increase in energy consumption and fuel demand. By means of the regulation published in 2008, amounts of main air pollutants such as sulfur dioxide and particulate matter were reduced progressively. Use of natural gas instead of coal and fuel and prohibition of the use of high sulfur coal in 2005 in energy supply for domestic heating was the main positive action for this problem. Average annual concentrations of sulfur dioxide and particulate matter are below long-term target limit value. However, in some cities where industry is expanding continuously, pollution is still over the target limit. New regulations played a part in industrial sources of pollution. All coal-fired power plants have been equipped with flue gas desulfurization units. Parallel action were also held in the transportation field. Leaded fuel was banned in 2004 and quality and emission standards were renewed accordingly to new regulations. In 2007, Turkey adopted its EU Integrated Environmental Strategy directives related to climate change and availability of consumer information on fuel economy and carbon dioxide emissions from new vehicles. But still, in general, Turkey has achieved a strong decoupling of sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide from economic development. The new law on energy efficiency and law on utilization of renewable energy resources for generating electricity are two good examples of governmental policies for preserving the nature. Turkey has huge capacity for various renewable energy resources and has included use of some sources such as geothermal energy, solar power, hydropower, wind power, wood, and biofuels in its policies. As an alternative, new policies are active in renewable energy resources such as solar, geothermal, hydropower, wind power, wood, and biofuels to reduce the pollution. The tax rates are lower in natural gas, LPG, and biodiesel than the other energy resources. Being an economical and social sector, agriculture requires a special attention and is highly vulnerable to climate change. Turkey is taking various actions to fight against the effects of climate change, including drought management, reduction of erosion, sustainable use of water resources, conversion of biodiversity, and enhancing food security. To increase public awareness, wide campaigns demonstrating waste management and effective usage of energy resources are held. Due to climatic conditions, precipitation flow relationship, which changes seasonally, display considerable differences in different years, and natural water supply falls to minimum levels in the summer season when the demand is maximum. Turkey's water resources are very sensitive to drought conditions, and drought is observed in every 15-year period. Drought conditions in year 2007 could be counted as the fifth dry period of the last 37 years. Also, in 2007, precipitation was 15% less than the normal amount. Catchment protection plans are set, including 25 river catchments of Turkey. The plan is used to follow the changes in water quality of the country and resulted in preparing sub-plans for the protection of the catchments individually. EU-funded projects on harmonization of urban wastewater treatment and dangerous substances directives are still continuing. Water pollution control regulation has provided an extensive approach for protection, optimized use and preventing pollution of the water resources. Flood is a serious problem in Turkey. According to the records based on annual flood inventory studies, economic loss related to the flood disasters reaches to $100 million per year. And in the last 15 years, about 500,000 hectare urban and agricultural areas were affected by floods. Preventing the subjected problem, action plans were improved preventing the flooding events. Parallel to dam construction for prevention of the floods and meeting water demand, basin water management systems are being developed for providing balance between resource and demand. Turkey Emergency Flood and Earthquake Relief Project has been effectuated to remove the damages of disasters. In the last decade, waste management has been improving in Turkey. This is supported by adoption of national waste regulations parallel to EU legislation, increasing demand on waste as a secondary raw material and increasing awareness in recycling. Turkey has published 11 regulations on different types of waste streams within the last 4 years and has made revisions on the existing ones. In 2003, there were only 28 licensed packaging waste sorting and recycling facilities in Turkey. After the adoption of packaging waste control regulation in 2004, the number of licensed firms rocketed and currently reached to 356. The situation is also similarly successful for the management of other waste streams like waste oils, end-of-life vehicles and tires, WEEE, and waste batteries and accumulators. Well-organized producer responsibility schemes also have had crucial contributions to this development. Hazardous waste management is also improving in Turkey. 146 hazardous waste recovery facilities and 31 cement factories have been licensed for safely disposing or utilizing hazardous waste as alternative energy sources. Although there have been a lot of developments, landfilling is still the dominating method of waste management. However, all dam sites are closed, rehabilitating and replacing with controlled sanitary landfills. Total waste generated in Turkey has been stabilized in the last years. We can talk about a decoupling of waste generation from the GDP growth and population. According to the Turkstat database, 1.15 kilograms per person per day municipal waste was generated in 2008. The total amount of biodegradable waste generated in Turkey is around 15 million tons annually. Biodegradable waste management plan is to be prepared presenting the national strategies for reduction of biodegradable waste amounts sent to landfills, biodegradable waste quantities, relevant pre-treatment options, composting, biogas production, anaerobic digestion, etc., and precautions to be taken. Turkey is proud of her historical heritage and natural richness, which are believed to be preserved for future generations because of uniqueness of most of them. All vulnerable and rare elements such as the oldest natural cedar forests, endangered hermit birds, almost 3,000 endemic plants. It is easy to make a very long list, are need to be kept for next generations. Under this context, the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan was prepared in 2007 to guide the upcoming action for protection of fauna and flora. The protected areas have been increased 2% since 2000, which further expansions have been already going on. Knowledge and information are the starting points in the activities related to nature. National Biodiversity Database System was established and launched, including habitats, species and areas. Turkey is a unique land by its geographic, demographic, historical and political importance. Another richness of Turkey is her young and active population. The world needs a better future, and Turkey is willing to be involved in every task to achieve the preservation of nature, ensuring a lively environment for the next generations.